Hello and welcome to another edition of the NCCR Podcast. My name is Devanda Smith. Alongside me is none other than
Kim Matson. I'm trying to match your voice.
Well, I've been told by our producer that I have that smooth, jazzy voice on a rainy afternoon.
Yes, I feel mine is more like nails on a chalkboard from time to time.
Well, for the podcast today, I'm trying to stay in character with Smooth 105,
Wow.
rocking the Holy Spirit, bringing it to you.
Okay, well, I will try to match your energy.
Okay. Well, Kim,
Yes.
this past Sunday, Pastor Steve.
So soccer season's over because he was back.
Well, yeah, I guess so. He's just not used to, I guess they won, so I can't say he's not used to winning. That's only his Australian football team. So, but he has some interesting things that he presented to the congregation. What was your takeaway?
Well, I like to title this one Management Issues.
Management issue. Have you ever had a difficult situation that you found yourself in managing?
One time that I can think of.
What did you do? What did you do, Kim?
It wasn't me. No, I think, everybody finds himself in those places where they're trying to figure out how to manage a situation. And oftentimes it's, you decide to you're done with it, or you're going to try to fix it somehow with your own abilities. And generally, neither of those is really the correct response. Because as we saw in Acts, they had issues as well with different cultures, different folks coming together and not understanding languages and in ways that they do things. And so wisely, the apostles decided to appoint people that had the gift of management.
Oh, discernment? What? What was that? Discernment, Kim? I think you heard that before. But Kim, you know what? I would like to jump in real quick when you said the different cultures coming together. One speaking one language, the other one speaking another language, but they're coming together as one body.
Right.
And the Jewish-speaking community was getting upset with the Hebrew-speaking community because things wasn't being taken care of. Doesn't that sound familiar?
It has a familiar ring to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the more things change, the more they remain the same. But what I appreciate about the disciple was, and Pastor Steve alluded to it, they did not sit there and just wait and like, well, why has this been done?
Right.
You should have did that. I was praying,
Right.
No.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why'd you call me out of that to go do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that when the recognition that isn't their strong suit, or they don't have the time to do that, and then took the initiative to seek out people that had those gifts, skill sets to manage those things was something we can all learn a lesson from.
Yes.
Because Steve also said something which I thought was pretty cool, and it's like, put 10 people to work versus doing the work of 10 people.
Why do we struggle with that, though?
Well, I think it's and I'm guilty of this. You have a particular way of doing things, and you like it done that particular way, and sometimes it's hard to relinquish your way. Somebody else's might be much better, and you don't know because you haven't had that experience. So,
do we have trust issues?
me, or just
No.
we?
We.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Pastor Steve, he gut punched himself, but he's not alone. When he was like, he has a problem asking for help. Yeah. Hello.
Anybody else in the room?
I know, right? This guy right here, is be like, yeah. I have to hit like a wall where I'm stuck. Like, okay, it's time to.
You should have asked 3 steps ago.
Right?
You thought about it 3 steps ago, and you're like, no, I'm just going to keep on going.
Send up that
Until
back
I put
signal.
that nail through my thumb, and it'll be fine. So do you think you're good at accessing your gifts and abilities? And I mean, how does that, well, I'll just leave it at that, I guess.
I think I'm pretty good at accessing my gifts. And I'm thankful because there's joy that comes with it. There's frustration that comes with it. But overall, it's joy. Mm-hmm. When I'm in my gift mode, it's absolutely joy.
Yeah. Well, Steve cited 1 Corinthians 12, and I think it was 4 through 7, but I was just going to read verse 7 real quick, and it's, a spiritual gift is given to each of us so that we can help each other. Mm-hmm. But I think like anything, that if you don't exercise that, it's being wasted.
Yes.
And we should never waste a gift that's been given to us by God.
Exactly.
Now, maybe it's a little hard to discern what your gift is. Sometimes other people point that out to you. Sometimes you just innately know what it is. Mm-hmm. But once you've recognized it, shame on us for not using it and sharing it with other people.
Amen to that. Everything you just said to that is so true. You have some people that they can recognize something in you that you might not recognize in yourself. Right. And that gift gets stirred up, like stir up the gifts that's mm-hmm. within you. Mm-hmm. Once that gift gets stirred up, you're absolutely right. It is an indictment upon us if we do not use our gift to mm-hmm. the fullest of our ability. And it's to sharpen and to help the body, mm-hmm. right? When I say the body, I'm talking about inside the church and outside the church. Right. Because once you start getting outside the 4 walls, and I really love what Donald Rickman doing, with the helping hands and stuff. You're going outside the 4 walls to reach those people. And then guess what? They're going to be a part of the body. Right. So that's when I said inside and outside. Right.
Yeah. But sometimes for folks that, that transition, that change into not only putting your gift out there, but also accepting others coming into that realm, if you will,
yes,
can be tricky. Change is not something that most people welcome. Mm-hmm. Clearly there's circumstances where, that's a great thing, but typically, I'm going to paint with a really big brush here. The, you're kind of in your lane, right? And, mm-hmm. and changing that can be sometimes uncomfortable, which again goes all the way back to when we started this. We should be uncomfortable. Yeah. We're supposed to be uncomfortable.
And going back when we was talking about the disciples, when everything was coming to a head, all about the inequalities, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't sit back and be like, well, hey, it's not me, but because the inequality, they create deep hurt, resentment, mm-hmm. Lack of communication with each other. And it grows and grows and grows till you don't have any unity and togetherness, which they started out with unity and togetherness, Right. But once inequality rears its ugly head, and we see it not only here, that's why I guess in Ecclesiastes it says there's nothing new up under the sun, mm-hmm. right? The inequalities that were shown here, we see it here in America. Yep. We see it here in Europe. Mm-hmm. And we have a special guest that's in the studio. He's going to talk later on. Mm-hmm. And you also see it in Africa, everywhere around the world, South America. You see these inequalities being displayed and is present. And the thing that I admire about the disciples was, we're going to nip this in the bud. We don't have the fortitude. I will not know that. Let me scratch that. Not the fortitude. We might not have the wherewithal to do or handle all this because we're busy, getting in the spirit and, laying out before God. But we're going to seek people that's filled with the Holy Spirit, mm-hmm. have that discernment to handle these things. And I feel personally, had we did this, our world would be in a better place. Right. Put those leaders in place. You know what? Let's fix this. Let's bring unity and togetherness back.
Right. And I think that's a lot of reason there is continued conflict. People don't think about others before they think about themselves.
Yes.
And when you put yourself before everything else, including God, because there's a lot of godless people out there and in leadership, and I mean, you don't have to look very far to figure out who these people are. I mean, they're everywhere, and you know, the world's full of sin, and it sounds like, you know, you're trying to eat an elephant, trying to get these. But we used to say to our kids, you can do that. You can eat an elephant. You just have to do it one bite at a time, right? So we have to continue to step forward and continue to put ourselves out there and use these gifts and use these talents and use these infrastructures that we have, including our little podcast here, to try to push out the bad and bring in the good. Yeah. And then, you know, also simultaneously put all of the gifts we've given out there to even in a small way do something that makes somebody feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
And feeling then like they can do the same thing, because that's the thing, right? It's one thing to have somebody yap in your ear about, you know, blah blah blah, but if you can't put it into action, it just sits there.
Yep, it's just a bunch of yakky. It
is.
You know.
Blah, blah,
so
blah.
Exactly. And you know, it's time out for the blah blah blah. It's more time for the action. You know, and yeah, we have to get out of our comfort zone. You know, Kim.
Right. That's what Acts has been telling us all along is, go. And you know, go and do your thing.
We have to do a better job. We have to do a better job also, not to talk over you, please forgive me for that. Inviting the hurt people back. Right. And show them a different way. Yeah. You know.
And that's not a small task.
No, it's not. There's a lot of church hurt out there. Yep. And we have to go back to those lost ones. Yeah. Right? And turn their heart back to God, you know. Yep. Okay, like I alluded to earlier, we have a special guest in the audience. Not in the audience, in the studio.
Well, it's an audience if there's more than one person. You kind of have an audience.
Yeah. I met this young man I think it was like last year before last. He brought up a situation that was going on in his home country. He's a member here at Northlake, and I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on in Ethiopia. I didn't know what was going on in Tigray, his region of the country. You hear about a lot of other conflicts, but you don't hear about all the conflicts. We hear about
the big ones, right?
Yeah.
But there's
other ones
they're all big if they're impacting you. Exactly. So it's important to bring those to light for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he was telling me.
You don't know what you don't know.
Our guest is Ephraim. He's a citizen of America and Ethiopia. And, you know, he was telling me about the genocide that would happen over there, over 500,000 people, you know. But I don't want to talk too much about it. I'm going to let him talk about it and how ways that we can help and get involved. So our special guest today is Ephraim. How you doing, brother? Don't be just up there laughing, man. How you doing over there?
Very good. Thank you for having me here, and it's an honor to be here with you. And I do appreciate for allowing me to share the humanitarian crisis back home in Ethiopia, Tigray region.
Okay. Pull the mic a little bit closer to you, E. So I want people to hear everything, man. So what is going on in Tigray?
In Tigray is located in north part of Ethiopia and surrounded by Eritrea and Sudan, and which is Ethiopia also. But we are still Ethiopians, but specifically small region, like more than 83 tribes and languages in Ethiopia. And one of the third major tribe is Tigray people. Our language is Tigrinya. And in November 4, the new elected Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed came. He was part of the APRDF. He was part of the government, and smoothly came to the power, but started to have tribe issues. And November 4, they start invading Tigray by inviting the Eritrean troops and the Amhara militia. And right now in Tigray, 360 degrees blocked, and there is no humanitarian access, no humanitarian aid, gender-based sexual rape is done by Amhara militia, Eritrean troops, and Ethiopian troops. There is no access at all. The health centers all are destroyed. All the factories are destroyed by Eritrean troops, Ethiopian troops, and Amhara militia. There is no access of telephone, internet, electricity. It's just the whole entire region is blocked, and so we need this to restore as soon as possible. And we do appreciate the world response for Ukrainian, which has happened the same thing.
Yeah.
But the response for Tigray people is greater than 500 days on blockage, and there is no humanitarian. So we ask unfettered humanitarian aid to go to Tigray. And we are asking our family, North Lake family members, everyone, to help us pass the HR 6600 to the House Senate. So you can find this petition in our website.
And we'll put the website and all that information at the bottom of the screen, so you can, if you want to get involved with this effort, we'll point you in the right direction.
Yes. And to help my people, to be the voice of the voiceless people, seeing as we are declined and we didn't get enough attention of the media, CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC, even local news is here. We have done a lot of protests to be aware, to create awareness for the entire world. So seeing as it was not well done, I created my own YouTube media called Cyber Power of Tigray Media to organize it, my own people, and to make awareness for the entire Washingtonians. I have had multiple discussions with Rick Larson, with Congressman Rick Larson. I also have today meeting with him. I have had some meetings with Mayor, Linwood Mayor, and other people. So I'm asking my family, North Lake family, to help us financially and also the HR 6600 to pass, to sign the petition, and to tell this story for friends and other senators and representatives to be to help us
to get the word out.
To get the word out,
Yeah.
and Tigray can be free of those invaders.
All righty.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Once again, we'll put that information in the broadcast here. That's heavy, man. But I like what he said. He's stepping up to be a voice for the voiceless back in his home country. And we can do better. And it's going back to when you see inequality anywhere, it's incumbent on us to get that clarion call out and blow that trumpet, be like, hey, and put a spotlight on it. You know? Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. On a lighter note here, Miss Kim, you brought a tried and true.
Yeah, well, you can't go wrong with a good thin.
A good thin?
As opposed to a bad thin, I don't know. Or a wheat thin. A lot of thins out there, but yeah, and you can't go wrong with a Hershey bar. That is a classic.
Yes.
You can rely on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're going to get.
You know what you're getting.
No surprises.
None whatsoever.
You know, I do want to say real quick, I don't think I'm alone when I get really a little ticked off when my power goes out for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nothing. I mean, we need to just really focus, people. This is that is a minor, minuscule inconvenience in a day where folks all over just.
You know, Kim, you and I, we talked about this before. We don't know how good we got it.
Right. You don't know what you've got till it's gone,
Until it's
according
gone.
to, what's her face? Joni Mitchell?
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Okay, I'm not going to sing
Yeah,
today.
please don't. I mean, I have to go back to my.
Oh, you don't want me to sing?
Please don't.
Oh, I think I would do very good, Kim. I think Molly would have me up on stage.
Well, I dare you to do that.
Well, I don't want, to steal all the glory.
He's afraid to do it.
I'm going to leave the glory up to her. I'll let her get the glory.
Wow.
But, okay.
Use your gift.
I'm using it now.
Use your singing gift.
For Kim Matson, Shagloria, and our producer. My name is Lavender
Molly, you need
Smith,
to call this guy.
And we're signing off to next week.
Couldn't happen soon
This
enough.
is the NCCR Podcast. See you next week, folks. God bless you. We love you.